Yo, what is going on, everybody? So, welcome back to a brand new episode of the Sports Talk Podcast. So, before we get started in today's episode, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that like button. You'll like this stream up. Also, have me rank on YouTube and for the algorithm to help push up new videos anytime I upload a new video or multiple videos. Also, hit the subscribe button down below with the notification bell, so you guys be instantly notified where I'll upload a new video or a couple new videos. Yo, Sonic, what is going up, my guy? Oh, bear with me here. Okay. Yo, Sonic, what is good? Well, yeah. So to start this off, I want to talk about this topic right now. So, as you can see on the screen, I am going to be talking about the Phillies' 8-game winning streak before they enter their series with the with the Dodgers. So, obviously, my Phillies, we beat the Mets. We actually swept them. And here's the thing: when this got started, this happened where after those two losses against the Pittsburgh Pirates, for some odd reason that sparked the what's the word I'm looking for? It kind of brought the team together. It really lit a fire under their ass, so to speak. But I wish I could share my screen with you guys, but since I'm using on a different Chromebook laptop, but I'm going to give you an understanding where some of the teams are sitting now. I mean, obviously, with the Phillies and Phillies and whatnot. So just bear with me, guys. Okay. So as we're as this when the studies were updated on August 9th, which is I think today at 3:11 Eastern Standard Time. So this basically as the standings goes, it says for the AL East, obviously the Tampa Bay Rays are up in first place over the Boston Red Sox, the Yankees, the Toronto not the Raptors, but the Toronto Blue Jays and the Baltimore Orioles. God forbid, the Orioles are the most shitty team in baseball. But yeah, I mean, but yeah, I mean, obviously, I'll go over with the other divisions at the moment. So obviously, my Phillies are sitting at 59 and 53. And they're 8-2 in their last 10 games with an 8-game winning streak. They have really okay, so they have a run differential of -5, but really that really doesn't mean anything. But no, almost. Well, yeah, I think what the Phillies have accomplished. Even part of it is Dombrowski's doing too. Acquiring like pitchers like Kyle Gibson and Ian Kennedy to help both the starting rotation and the what's it called the bullpen. It just shows that we care about winning. I just think it's just like it's the most. I feel like what the Philly, like I said before, after those two losses against the Pittsburgh Pirates, that literally really woke them up. They started going on a defensive streak, and I'm for the first time, I've never. I mean, as a Phillies fan, I've suffered disappointment, but the way that the Phillies are playing, and swinging the bats, obviously defense needs a little work here and there. I just kind of feel like there's a possibility they can snatch this division. Obviously, sweeping the Mets was, and the what you call it. Okay, so, oh yeah, man, I mean, I've really never actually been really happy as a Phillies fan, in my life, per se, because it's like, the way that the Phillies are doing things, it's just like it shows how. Okay, so like I mentioned before, so I'm gonna go as you can probably see on the screen at the moment. Um, I had okay, so I'm gonna okay, so basically, as you can see, Tampa Bay is at 64 and 40, 68 and 44 with the first place spot in the AL East. Honestly, wait the like teams like okay, so I know I apologize, I'm stumbling over my words a little bit, but all I'm saying is like the teams like even the White Sox, at times I kind of doubt their ability to do things. It shows, and especially now, and it's like people tend to yeah, but like I'm saying, and this is why I think, and now looking back at it, people often times trolled the White Sox for obviously trade away Fernando Tatis Jr. in exchange for James Shields, which I think most you would think they would that would have been a forgotten thing, but most times baseball fans would never forget that, and sometimes I don't like literally troll them, but I just find that embarrassing to think that the way that what Tatis was doing when he got first called up to the Padres and what he's doing now, despite all the injuries and whatnot. But yeah, I mean it's it's just like we all knew, like for my Phillies, like the tests were in order if they're going to be really competitive, and the NL East is not strong by any stretch of the means, as you can probably tell on the screen at the moment. But yeah, I mean, the Phillies, first place sit at 59-53 with winning percentage of 527. They're 8-10 in the last 10 games, obviously with the 8-game winning streak. As you can, yo, Nate, what is going on, my guy? Well, yeah. So, and here's the thing about the Phillies right now. I know people say, and I know it says -5 in the run differential, but I don't really see that as much of a factor. The way that the producing runs, like even like yesterday, now yesterday was Roy Halladay. They were retiring Roy Halladay's number here in Philadelphia and also Toronto as well. But Zach Wheeler, the way that he pitches, or the way he pitched yesterday, was almost was almost like Roy Halladay was. He was like this second coming. Yeah, yeah, Nate. I'm going to get that to in just a second. Um, well, yeah. I mean, obviously, the worst team in our division is the Miami Marlins. Who, I mean, I know they're terrible, but the Marlins have a bright future. With a lot of talent they have um, in the minors. But yeah, I mean, I just think it's just like it's insane to see, and this is all Phillies fans too. Like we all know like how much how we like to talk trash on the Phillies because how bad they have been. I just feel like what they have been accomplished. I just feel like this is where they really need to. And even with this Mets series, man, they stepped on their throat. Even even Brody, who you haven't checked him out, he got he's on YouTube called Broad's Media, and I don't know if anybody watches, but he said if the Phillies can do keep keep their foot on the gas pedal, who knows what this team can do. I mean, uh, yeah, like it's saying, yeah. Pardon me, because my buddy Tyler is and it's weird. And now it's just like it's weird. For the first time, I'd say I've never felt excited as a Phillies fan. Despite all the, uh, it's just like what is there to say? Bryce Harper playing almost at the MVP level. Zach Wheeler could probably be a possibility of a favorite in the Cy Young. Uh, but speaking of the way that the Phillies playing at the moment, I'm going to bring up Joe Girardi's press conference, and what he basically said. He just said, it's just like, it felt like their hand or royalty, touched Zach Wheeler because think about it this way: other than that leadoff double by Brandon Nimmo, it's almost been like people would have remembered, how he threw a perfect game. But yeah, basically, kind of just basically almost replicate what how he did in 2010. It's just it was impressive to see what um what Zach basically Zach Wheeler had to performed on a special day to help bring up what the what this day meant for basically for Phillies fans, because they had Chooch going at but yeah, I mean, like Chooch, got emotional about it. Even our fraudulent owner, John Middleton, was a little bit emotional about it. I think, and this is why I think both the Toronto Blue Jays and the Philadelphia Phillies, they did a pretty good thing here. And we all know, 34 is never going to be warranted. Well, for Toronto, I think it's going to be 32 because that's what the last number he Halliday wore before he got traded here. But in his press conference, it's like, Girardi was brought to tears because of what this day really meant. Like it's just words can really not describe how what amazing Zach Wheeler has been, and even though when we signed him in free agency, since I just because I want to bring up because there's a little something I want to share, and for those obviously okay. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Just bear with me, guys. Just bear with me here. My brother's Chromebook is kind of lagging a little bit, so just bear with me here. Yes, I know how to share. Look, and I hate the mess with every fiber in my being when it comes to this. And this is where I felt, and I thought, and this has been shared all over my Facebook and my Facebook page and whatnot. I want to just really show you guys, the Mets GM Brody Van Wagenen really had something stupid to say. He just really, like, okay. Um, okay, so before I get into all this, I want to read you this something. It's according to this article that NBC Sports put out. What was this put out? No, it doesn't matter. But he said that's certainly a take. To be clear, Zach Wheeler and his agent are responsible for what the. Okay, wait a minute. To be clear, Zach Wheeler and his agent are responsible for getting Zach Wheeler 118 million, not Brody Van Wagenen, not the Mets. And this is the thing about too with the Mets is like they are so frugal with their money. It's like it's not even funny. Obviously, before that, okay. And this is the thing too. Like, don't get me wrong, like, and this is what. Yeah, so this was came out in February, and it says Mets general manager Brody Van Wagenen fired back at former Met turned Philly Zach Wheeler after a day after Wheeler threw a subtle jab at the Mets, that all baseball fans will understand. Receiving an offer from the Phillies, and this is what Wheeler had to say. It was basically just crickets when I did. Quote, yeah, basic quote. It was basic crickets, just crickets when I did, but he also continued saying he wasn't surprised. Quote, because it's them. Wheeler said, it's how they roll. So basically, in terms, it's like I feel like as much as I mean, everybody loves Zach Wheeler, and he's gonna be. I think he should is the true ace of the staff. As much as I love Aaron Nola to death, but I just don't think it's okay. So here's the article I wanted to share with my fellow viewers of the Sports Talk podcast and the Philly Sports Nation. And sorry Mets fans, but you guys suck. So I don't want to. I mean, even with the new owner, like you guys still can't get anything right. So this is coming from Newsday.com. And as you can read by the title, Zach Wheeler not worth what the Phillies paid him. Mets GM Brody Van Wagenen says. So let me kind of break this down a little bit. Well, this is before. Oh yeah, we are. I mean, before Nate, like before you, like when you guys had him, like you had a good manager too, but obviously the front office really just never just they really just ruined it for you. But as you can see by this article right here, this is before Steve Cohen actually bought the Mets from the Wilpons, and that's a whole other thing in itself. But and it's business as usual. Yeah, well, that was the same thing as well from the last article. Just uh, okay, so this is and I know Nate, we're lucky to have a manager as great as Joe Girardi, but fuck off. I know the page is not responding, but I want to. But and this is what it says: the So the Mets business this week revolves not in ownership, around an ownership change, but around pitching help. That is true for the bullpen for sure. For Mets fans, I mean, we share the same sentiment. We had a bad bullpen in years past, but you have some. I mean, look, the Mets have great pitching, but the problem is, no matter what lead they have, the bullpen always finds a way to blow it. Same with us. So, but and like they're in the recent games, so it's like we've been really solid. Our bullpen's been really solid, and it says this is true for the bullpen for sure, but also for the rotation. Mets have a vacancy after Zach Wheeler signed a 5-year, $118 million deal with the Phillies that became official on Monday, which is, and this is what, and then I know this is a couple years old, but this is what still really, this is what rubbed me the wrong way, and this is Van Wagenen says, quote, the Mets didn't think, or actually, yeah, the Mets didn't think Wheeler was worth that kind of money. Technically, I mean, I don't know about that because here, and people don't realize, what, and this, and nowadays it's like the Zach Wheeler is really making a case for the Cy Young. Says DeGrom's going to be out probably to mid-September, from what I've been hearing reports from. Lindor is still hurt with the oblique injury. Baez is now getting hurt, which that brings me into the next one. I'll say, and people may not know, like the Mets have always been terrible. I mean, they have some good players coming through that organization at times, but this is why I kind of feel like the Mets. I don't know. There's something said to me about the Mets. It's like whoever goes, like whatever, like player or superstar player goes there, they always find a way to get hurt. Obviously, take a look at Lindor. He got hurt with an oblique injury, and Game 3, Baez had to leave. Javi Baez had to leave the game. I mean, it shows like sometimes, and it's not just us that has to deal with the what do you call it, the injury bug. I mean, we fought the injury bug. Don't get me wrong, but having players like McCutchen out, a few other players out, but that really never stopped us from doing our 8-game winning streak. I'm just saying that's just kind of what my thing is with this. But yeah, I mean, it's funny to troll the Mets because it's like they're one of the one of the teams that I just want to just really want to take a crap just take jabs at, because we had I know some like Mets fans, content creators are not happy because of it, because I know like Giraffe Market, I know he's a big Mets fan, but it shows like sometimes the Mets are incompetent at times. Same with us. Before, and I'll get to the trade deadline in just a moment, but what the what what I don't know what Steve Cohen is thinking, because it's like this. And look, Steve Cohen, who's now the owner of the Mets, who has a multi-billion-dollar, I think a multi-billion-dollar net worth. I'm not sure the exact amount, but he has like so much money, but he can have the ability to sign players. But the problem is, none of the Mets really haven't done much. Syndergaard is still hurt. Stroman's kind of is back and forth a little bit. The DeGrom is having a hard time staying healthy in the last couple of years. At some point, they're going to have to realize, the writing on the wall, and that's the thing too. Like, and for those who don't know about it, it's like we were down, and God, sorry about that. The Wi-Fi's kind of shitty, but and this is the thing too. It's like people don't realize it shows that the Mets can't keep their players healthy, and that's we got some flack for that too, as for the Phillies. But what I'm saying is, it's like the Mets can't really do much to keep their players healthy, especially DeGrom, who still one of the greatest pitchers of this era of baseball. But problem is, he is hurt with, I think he has like a back injury. It's insane to really think, um, to really just kind of just saying and that's the thing. Another thing too, like after we swept the Mets, they went from first to third in 3 days. And that's the thing too. Like last week on July 31st, we were 4.5 games out of first place. And then once we started getting on this 8-game winning streak, when we swept the Nationals, then we swept the Mets. We really we really did make a push to get back to where we want to be. But yeah, I mean, and that's another thing too. Zach Wheeler, and this is what I really want to touch upon. What Zach Wheeler has done for technically his first 2 seasons as a Philly. I just feel like he really has really stepped up. I mean, obviously, Aaron Nola has regressed a little bit, but I just feel like with some of the pitchers that are out for injury, and I just feel like the Cy Young might be available for the taking for Zach Wheeler in the National League, because it's like, obviously we all know that DeGrom's probably going to be the obvious choice for Cy Young, but the problem is though, like the and that's the only issue I'm running at the Mets. Obviously most pitchers run into are injuries. I mean, Zach Wheeler has gotten hurt before, but that was in the off season, so he came back he was healthy. I just feel like the Zach Wheeler is going to be, probably I really hope to be the Cy Young of the National League, because knocking on wood here, he's been healthy all year, and he before all and all this stuff, like he was like second and third in strikeouts behind DeGrom and Garrett Cole, who was also out with the virus and all that stuff. But I just feel like Zach Wheeler should just automatically get the Cy Young. And this goes into and touch and Bryce Humber for MVP. And I made a video about this too, so I highly recommend you guys check that out while you can. But I'm gonna really bring up let's go to the regular season stats, because I want to really show. Oh, dude. Why are you so lagging right now? Hey, just bear with me, guys. But yeah, the way Harper and Zach Wheeler has been, providing a lot of, maybe, and I made the statement too, or asked the question: Can Bryce Harper be the MVP of the National League? And I say yes because what he's been doing in the second half of the season you're putting up video game numbers. I think he's got like he's like overall I think he's got like 370 370 batting average and over an OPS of 1500. So it really shows that. Well, I know he had like sometimes some slow stretches here and there throughout the season. I mean, that's to be expected. But what he has done in the second half of the season is video game like. It really is. Okay, and that's the thing too. Like, I don't really. It's just weird to. I don't say it's weird, but I just feel like it's okay. Okay, let's go to the pitching side of things. So I want to really, bring up. I mean, look, the pitching's there. Not gonna lie. I just want to show you guys the um, what I'm really talking about. If this page will load, so bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Um, Here, let me take this off screen right now. But yeah, so obviously with like I said, Zach Wheeler for Scott, Cy Young, I think that's good. That's a huge possibility because some of the other good pitchers are out with injuries. Well, technically Garrett Cole's out with the virus. The protocols and whatnot. The Degrom was out with, I think, with the back injury. I don't know why. It just shows that some it's just I don't know. I mean, I don't know what you guys you're really thinking. Yeah, I mean, really, it's probably not going to be one of my better podcast episodes, but when I say, and I think this too, like Zach Wheeler should. I mean, at this point of what he's doing, I think he's got a 10-6 record, a 2.57 ERA. I think at this point, I think he should really, make it. He's really making a case for himself. Like I should earn the Cy Young. I've been healthy all year. I've been stepping up, stepping up for my team in the regular season. But I just really see, what, yeah. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It's really jaw dropping to see what Zach Wheeler is capable of when he's healthy. And we all know that he had a couple Tommy John surgeries throughout his career when he started with the Mets, obviously. And and then the Mets fans are always still get even then when they let Zach Wheeler walk in free agency, they still and they gave shit to the Mets as well. But we took the opportunity to get one of the better, I guess at the time, one of the better pitchers on the market, for free agency. So we got him on a 5-year, $118 million deal. And, obviously with a shortened season, he really showed, he can do it. He can, win. I think he can win a couple Cy Youngs every now and then. And then and again, I apologize. Another thing, too, I want to review the MLB Trade Deadline. Pardon me. Sorry, guys. I think this year's trade deadline was really interesting to see. And now, obviously, with the next topic coming up, so I'm going to just tie this coming up as well. So basically, the MLB trade line review and this topic right here is going to be going hand to hand. I just feel like what the Cubs have done, especially now, getting rid of Anthony Rizzo, Kyle. Kyle Schwarber's already been gone for a while. Anthony Rizzo, like I said, Javi Baez, and now you have Chris Bryant now being a San Francisco Giant. It shows like sometimes the Cubs are incompetent of where they want or in the direction they want to go in. But it really, I don't know. It's just I don't know what direction the Cubs are going in. Getting rid of your three top players. and during the trade deadline, like I mentioned in my when I did my trade deadline video in the world when I broke it down. Um, no, I think no player is safe from the trade deadline because no matter how far you're locked up in your contract, you're still going to get traded. I mean, it's the inevitable. But in the Cubs case, I mean, they got a decent return for Anthony Rizzo, Chris Bryant, and Javi Baez. So I can understand. I mean, I think the direction they're going to try to go in is try to go a little bit younger, because it's like the Cubs kind of just really. I mean, when you look at it on paper, I feel like they kind of just shot themselves in the foot. Um, I don't know. Maybe it's just. I mean, I heard of we all knew Bryant was going to mostly get traded before this year's trade deadline. You know, we've been hearing rumors of that too, but seeing Anthony, they finally fell through with Anthony Rizzo and even Javi Baez to the Mets is another thing, and a lot of Mets fans are kind of really shitting on, because it's like like they can't have a healthy shortstop, but I don't know, maybe it's just something to really show. Oh, sorry about that. Let me go back to the you know what? Fuck this, man. Yeah. So basically, like it's just I don't know. Maybe it's just like I don't know what's going through Jet Hoyer's mind when he traded Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, and um. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, sorry. Pardon me. Sorry. Apologize, guys. But like I was saying, it shows that sometimes the GMs are sometimes ineptitude, or they have ineptitude about going about things. It's like I don't know. I just don't understand why most. I don't know. Maybe it's just something to think about. I want to know what your guys' thoughts about this too. It's just like people. It's just like the Cubs kind of really just want to shoot themselves in the foot. I mean, they're in like fourth place in the NL Central. It really is, man. It's ridiculous to watch. Well, not I don't have really watched Cubs games, since like 2016 at the moment, because it's like they just don't want to really get better. I don't know. I don't really want to get better, but I think overall, I think the trade deadline was pretty interesting to really a whole. That Sterling Marte going to the Oakland A's along with Josh Harrison, Young Gomes. So a lot of teams, and then for us, gave up Spencer Howard a couple prospects in exchange for Kyle Gibson, Ian Kennedy, and another pitching prospect, Hans Kraus, who at time he's a quirky pitcher. So I really hope to see what's going on about that. I don't know. Maybe it's just that. It's just I just enjoy what I just seeing what the moves have been made in the MLB trade deadline. Um, it shows like sometimes teams want to get better and compete in certain divisions. I know we're trying to compete in one of the weakest divisions. Getting it all off the MLB off the MLB path, but I want us to go move on to my Philadelphia 76ers. Because now with the summer league already up, and obviously we had they notched their first win against the Dallas Mavericks. I think Tyrese Maxey. I mean, him and Isaiah Joe were actually went off on the Dallas Mavericks. But I don't know. Maybe it's just I know that the Sixers have a bright future with the talent that they have. But I just kind of don't understand. I mean, we all know we heard rumors that Tyrese Maxey is going to be. Well, I'll get to that in just a moment. But with their summer league schedule, so just bear with me, everybody. I'm going to have to share my. Just bear with me. The summer leagues. Actually, might as well just share my screen with this. Yeah, send. Okay, so I'm going to bring up the Sixers 2021 uh, summer league schedule. So I know you guys would like to see. Pardon me about that. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe it's just one of those things where yeah. So basically, there's okay. So before the summer league started, they have announced their part of the roster was Tyrese Maxey, uh, B-ball Paul, Isaiah Joe, and Springer were going to head to the summer league, which um, as you can see right here, August 9th, they play today at 4 p.m. against the Dallas Mavericks on NBA TV, which they got the win out of that. So and then Thursday, August 12th, obviously it's just Eagles. They had they're at the Cox Pavilion against the Atlanta Hawks summer league team, which Sixers fans we all know how that turned out to be, which is another topic. I mean, kind of just really bring it up. Obviously, yeah. And then the 14th, they're playing. They're also at the Cox Pavilion playing at 5 p.m. against the Boston Celtics summer league team. Um, the 15th, they are playing at 7 p.m. against they're hosting the Minnesota Timberwolves. Out of the 16th, as you can see right here, that the last game will be to be determined. Um, well, that's to be determined because with the playing fight. Yeah, so basically they will have like just basically just really kind of just really try to win a something like championship. But obviously, I'm going to go back to since we're going to talk about the Sixers. Let's talk about Ben Simmons for just a goddamn moment, okay? This is why I think at this point in time, most of us Sixers fans, we are done with him. I just kind of feel like Ben is just really he doesn't really care. And my buddy Mitch, dropped a video, reasons why we hate Ben Simmons. Um, Obviously, as you can see right here by Yahoo Sports, where do we have how many times we have to see this title right here? Sixers fans crush Ben Simmons for new workout shooting video, and that's the thing too. Like with Ben Simmons, I just don't understand. Like, I mean, take a look at this. I mean, unfortunately, take a look at this. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I want to share this with you by NBC Sports. Um, eh, it says possible Simmons trade partner feeling pressure to deal, and here's and the report about it. And obviously we know with the summer league they're going to show the young stars are going to show what they're going to have are going to what they're made of. Um, and this is what Jason Anderson, who's a beat reporter for the Sacramento Bee, about what the Kings are going to be doing before the 2021-2022 season begins. And he says, "quote Multiple sources tell." Don't care. Sorry about that, guys. God damn it. Shit. Okay, but yeah, like, and that's the thing. We took a number with the first overall pick in 2016 draft. Actually, let me. I want to show you guys, the 2016 NBA draft class and who was part of it. It's like you have no idea. So as you can see, so obviously we had Ben Simmons going number overall. Just look at this. Like this is like 4 years. Like this doesn't make any sense though. Like he shot pretty. He only spent one season at LSU, but he shot the lights out with LSU. And then we got Brandon Ingram picking the number 2 spot by the Lakers. Jaylen Brown going 3. Don't know who Bender is. Chris Dunn. Buddy, think about it this way. No, Buddy Hield went to the Pelicans at 6, but now he's with the Sacramento Kings. I mean, you can look at this at yourself. I mean, obviously, the guy. I think he was a decent. I know TLC never really worked out here, but I think Kurt Korkmaz, even though he's 24 years old, still has a lot of time to grow as an NBA player. Yo, what's going on, Balby? Yeah, I know. Well, also, it's not just my mic being fast. I also talk fast as well. But as you can see on what I'm showing you guys, it's just the 2016 NBA Draft Class. It's like, yeah, Devontae Davis. It's just like, I'm looking at some of these names. It's like, why? I mean, anything else because just had. Edge. I mean, obviously, Malcolm Brogdon was part of the what you call it, the draft class. But by the topic right now, Ben Simmons really cut off communications with the Sixers, which kind of sends a message, just like, I want out. I mean, it's really showing, I don't know. I don't really. At this point, I really don't want him to come back. I really don't, because it's just like he's really set the standard where he just doesn't. He's not getting his way a lot of times than not. So the fact that he really doesn't have returned Joel Embiid's calls, by the way, really just cut up anybody. So it kind of tells you that Ben Simmons doesn't want to be here, and I mean that's been kind of given the fact. Obviously, what happened in the playoffs against the Hawks, Game 7. I don't want to go. Don't worry, we want to do that again. Obviously, Sixers fans would know that. It just shows that Ben really doesn't really, and that's the thing too. It's like, and a lot of people are, and it's just, I don't know. Like Ben Simmons is one of the head case. Think about it this way. Like I'm a part of a Sixers called Social Sixers. And obviously there was 2 Ben Simmons stands in there. One of them I had to call out on his BS. Like, dude, I mean I just say like this dude Ben Simmons is nothing but a head case. He doesn't want to work, and we all knew that from even as much as I don't like some people on ESPN, but how Stephen A. Smith kind of presented that, it shows that Ben Simmons is more, and he just wants to act like a Hollywood star rather than just getting better, and just kind of be a better basketball player on the offensive side of the basketball. But obviously that wasn't the case. I don't know. It's just like most of the, it's really time to I mean, obviously he's already cut ties with us, so it really shows that he's not attending training camps. Like, he just doesn't want to be and he doesn't want to be accountable. That's just all I'm gonna say. Like, the dude doesn't know the word accountable, and a lot of part of it can go to Doc Rivers as well. But I love Doc Rivers, but what helped Ben Simmons was kind of getting away from most of this is just, it shows that he just, I don't know how I really want to really. Well, yeah, I mean and that's the thing too. I love my Sixers dearly, but the way that Ben Simmons and that's the thing too. Like, what the Sixers could have been without if we didn't take Ben Simmons. And that's the thing too. And I had some people telling me like, that I like Ben Simmons. Like, no, I don't. I know I did it. Even when and that's the thing too. Like, even when we drafted him, he just really never was the player that I would have wanted. Um, he just kind of got, and there was reports saying he has that "I'm better than you and you know" what kind of attitude towards to us and the fans and what all that. Obviously, then cut ties with us and kind of just goes to us for a good chunk of time. Then all of a sudden, there's some workout video comes in, and I'm not buying it for 1 second. Even with the workout videos he has put out, I never bought into it because it's like I just don't feel. I just feel like after his first 2 seasons, is he really going to get better? No, I don't. I think I thought to myself, I really hope so, but obviously, the way that Mitch just kind of described it, he was stagnant. Like he was just, I mean, defensively, he got to regress a little bit, but I think overall, he's a stagnant player. Just doesn't want to elevate to that next game, which brings me to this one. This topic. Uh, Damian Lillard is not happy with the Portland Trailblazers, and what reports are saying, Damian, Lillard tries to recruit Kelly Oubre Jr. to the Portland Trailblazers. It just never really worked out, and obviously, and let's see if I can find this report for you guys. Okay, so let's go. Okay, see if I can find an actual source. So New York Daily News. I mean, the best you're gonna get is New York Daily News. Well, is it Daytona, New York? Hell no. But it's most likely. This is the thing too. Like he's kind of, Oh, sorry about that, guys. Let me get into this. Share the screen with you guys. I apologize. Well, actually, no, that's when like True and Abbott, and people kind of were giving crap about that. Let's see. Let's see what this. I mean, and this is the thing. Like, the Blazers were looking at Kelly Oubre Jr. in free agency, and obviously, I mean, we all know that. Uh, it's just like I don't know. It seems like Portland, like I don't know. I mean, you don't really understand like how even Portland's a small market team. So like how hard I know it's really hard to. And this is RB said this too on one of his streams that he did, saying that Portland is a small market team. Like they don't want to. They have a hard time attracting talent out there. Let me see here. I guess I can. Let's just see what. Okay, so when was this? July. Okay, so this was July 20th. Um, Obviously, well, actually, yeah, we all knew about the ties with the Sixers and like a couple other teams, but I just have a feeling that, and it shows. I don't really see why. I think okay, let's try with Yard Baker. So I know, okay, so Yard Barker. I should say. I apologize. Obviously, and this just says, Damian Lillard tried to recruit Kelly Oubre Jr. to the Blazers after their 2021 season. Jason Quick kind of and who athletic Jason Quick, kind of interviewed Lillard about this, but Lillard also addressed his disappointment with the organization. And I don't know. There's so that obviously Kelly Oubre Jr. obviously signed with Charlotte Hornets, and everyone kind of said that Damian Lillard off. Basically, just saying, and RB said this too. Like the Blazers have to swing and miss in free agency, but and I think they obviously did that, and I think that's what's setting off Damian Lillard. And I mean, we all knew eventually it was going to happen. And I want to bring up the Yeah, well, fuck yourself. I want to really, and I want to. It says speaking of Damian Lillard and the Portland Trailblazers, I want to how do you spell this fucking dude's name? All right. Chauncey Billups who is now the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers, and this is what set me. This is why I didn't like having. I'm not a big Portland fan by any stretch of the means. So, and this is the thing too. Like, it's just like yeah, him was a front runner for the head coaching job. Becky Hammond, who was not the one that the Trailblazers were trying to get as a head coach. But obviously, in the Jason Kidd, that was became the Dallas Mavericks coach after Carlisle for the just suddenly just resigned, and as you can probably see, like and I can see why most uh, some I guess Trailblazers fans didn't like the idea of Chauncey Billups getting hired because of the shit that he has, in his past, and it's just like I don't know, it's just like it's bad enough to think like you have a coach that has exactly, and that's the thing. It's like how about, and this is what this says right here. It's like how that's supposed to about face a line. The hiring of pled guilty to spousal abuse. Only keeping news for sure. But it's just like it shows. I don't know. It's just like Amy Litter had eyes for Chauncey Billups, but I feel like, and even though after trying to be, it was a 3-week search for placement. I just kind of just feel like, I feel like Damian Lillard. I think if Damian Lillard, I was saying I would have enough. The fact that you have Chauncey Billups, who I mean, he was an okay player during his day, and then you had the Mavericks hunting, basically just kind of breaking, just really. I don't really understand why would you try to put a trouble past and not have someone else who has could be a better option. Obviously, I know Becky, and this is why I think I'm going to bring that up in just a second with you guys, but and I'll bring up something for Ford. It's like, and, obviously, Becky Hammond really made history as the first finalist, as the first female finalist for the NBA head coaching job. She also for the Portland Trailblazers secured a second interview. Unfortunately, that didn't work out, and obviously, they hired John Billups, which, in my honest opinion, which is one of the stupidest hiring decisions that the Portland Trailblazers have made, and this is why I think this is why I feel like just kind of just really, I don't know, like I don't know, I don't want to get too deep into this, but you guys can probably look for yourselves and kind of bring up your thoughts. But in short, Damian Lillard is really not happy with the Portland Trailblazers, especially in this year's free agency. But it's just it really shows that it shows that sometimes teams like the Portland Trailblazers are kind of inept. But I don't want to get too much detail. But there's like 2 more topics I want to share with you guys. Is my Philadelphia Eagles 2021 season prediction. So I collabed with Berg Game 31, and we kind of talked about this too. Like how training camp's going to go, and what kind of players are going to be looking out for. And all, basically, who's going to be breaking out. I just kind of feel like the I did not Sixers. What am I talking about? Sorry about that. I mean, the Eagles are having. I think you have a great first season under Nick Sirianni, who I think is going to be successful with this team because I kind of feel he can get on you, but also he can work with you. He's a player coach. Obviously, like he did something regular. He put a regular on second team offense. Basically just kind of just really showed that If you're not going to put the work or do it the right way, you're gonna learn the hard way. So they put him in second team offense. With Darius Slay really covering him on one, and obviously the Twitter video that's been kind of going around has become a little bit viral is his Rager's one-handed catch over Darius Slay, which I think it really shows how much Sirianni is going to care with this team, and my prediction wise, I have a feeling they're going to have double-digit wins. I say between like 10 to 12, maybe like 12 and maybe they can go 13-4, 14-3. I mean, I kind of being a little bit ambitious here, but I just feel like if everything goes right and they can stay healthy, there's no doubt that they can win at least 14 to 15 games. That's just kind of what. And the floor, I mean, I don't think there's a floor with this team. I think the floor you can really go to is like 10. I mean, at best, maybe 10-7 is probably their floor. Maybe set. I mean, to set the bar high, you could probably go undefeated 17-0. But yeah, that's kind of where my prediction is with the Eagles. Now another one that I really want to really talk about this too, since I covered baseball earlier in the show. Team Japan, the Japanese national team has defeated the Team USA in the gold medal match in the Olympics, and I don't think I'm really not that disappointed. But I feel like Team USA had a good run in the Olympics, but when it comes to the Japanese national team and the players that Japan has produced over the years, they're so fundamentally sound. It's like if you want to get a bunt down, they can do that. Great base running. Do the little things right to be successful. You have some Americans over there as well who are playing in the Nippon professional baseball, like Justin Bohr, for example. But I just kind of feel like I feel like Team Japan is, even when the World Baseball Classic is, and the Latin America, like the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, those are going to be like the teams that they're going to possibly be hard to beat because of the different players that come out of those certain countries. And obviously with the Olympics being held in Tokyo, Japan, the Japanese, I just feel like they had a kind of a home advantage because they're in the home country of Japan, land of the rising sun of the Far East. But I think obviously at the end of the day, we came out with the most medals over pretty much most of the countries in this year, the 2020 Olympics. But I'm actually not that upset that the team is. I mean, I really wish the team would have the gold medal, but setting with the silver, I think is probably the better option or not say better option because I mean that was going to be the outcome anyway. And I'll give credit where credit is due with Team Japan being the fundamentally sound team that they are. I just kind of feel like where I think Japanese players really know how to play the game the right way and just do the very small fundamental things too. It's like not think about it this way. Try not to try to do too much. Like say if it's an outside pitch, for example, they'll take it the opposite way. Try to do the small things like that. But I was going to say congrats to Team Japan. Getting that gold medal for baseball, which to be honest, it's pretty good to see baseball and softball back in the Olympics. But yeah, it's pretty much the Japan's probably going to be one of those countries that's like if it comes to baseball, like you're going to have a hard time really keeping up with them because like they'll and the other thing too, like also they're high school, the way that they do things at the high school level really is really intense. You can look it up on YouTube as well. Like the different kind of training regiments. But I mean, with all the topics I've covered today, for those who haven't really joined as much, which really like to hope so. For those who did join, like Big Play Slay, Joseph Balby, Need Talk Sports, Sonic 2.25. Thanks. I want to say thank you guys for coming in. But with that all being said, if you're new to the channel, you make sure to hit that like button. Help me rank up on YouTube, and also hit the subscribe button. Help me on my way to 150 subs, and after that, it's 200. But this is Robert from the Phillies Sports Podcast. I'll see you guys next week.